You clicked on this video because you want to know how to upgrade your art easily. Well, I won't gatekeep here. I will show you how easy it actually is to upgrade your art from something like on the left to something like on the right with easy steps. Trust me, these will elevate your art like crazy. When I started using these hacks, I was flabbergasted on how easy it is to make your art look so professional. So without further ado, let's just jump into the video. So the first thing you want to do, don't mind the crispiness, I had to adjust the recording to make it look not that bad of a quality. So first things you have to do is select everything you have, like everything without the background though, and just flatten it. You can duplicate it so you have one backup if your flattened version doesn't work. But or if you want to make any adjustments later on, but you should have one flat version and your other layers in one group. After that, you want to add the background color. And if you have a background already, first of all, congratulations that you have mastered the ability to draw backgrounds. But second of all, just leave the background there. Don't merge it with your foreground because this is important for later on. Then you want to add another layer and color drop it black, and then adjust the blending mode to color. This grayscale version of your drawing helps you to determine whether your values are strong enough or not. If your drawing doesn't include lighter parts and massively darker parts, then you should probably adjust the values. For example, make the hair darker, make the background darker, or make the character silhouette darker. By pushing these values, your drawing gets way more dimension than before. And also, the different objects are way more visible than before. After that, you can finally merge your foreground and background together because the values are now different. Now we're getting to the interesting part. So what you're going to do is duplicate your layer and navigate to the color curve tool. This is called different in every application, but search where you find this tool in your application and do following things because it is very powerful. After opening the color curves, you are met with this diagram type of thing. Each color that is displayed on the right helps you adjust the colors again. Even small changes in the curve can make a massive difference in the atmosphere. So go around each color and play with them colors because you don't know how much difference you can make with them. Don't overdo it, but definitely try what works best for your drawing. And when you're satisfied with the results, you can move on to the next step. I usually merge the layer that I adjusted with the original layer, so I keep my organization clean. But you can keep the adjustment layers as well if you feel more comfortable with that. After merging it, I duplicate the layer again in case the next adjustment goes wrong in any way. So the second step is you move to Gaussian blur. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this tool. It just blurs out your entire drawing. But since we want more dimension, you blur out the entire drawing, then go to the one that you blurred out, the layer, and erase the parts that you want to be in a focus. So it looks like the character is in motion, or maybe it's a high quality camera that is capturing this very moment. I recommend keeping the Gaussian blurriness up to 7%. Now, after checking if I'm satisfied with the result, I simply merge that layer with the one before again, and then duplicate it to move on to the next step. And that is chromatic aberration. This adds a glitch effect to your drawing. It really helps the focal point, the main point of your drawing, the main part to stand out again. Then after rechecking 100 times, I merge and duplicate the layer again to move on to the next step, which is to sharpen your drawing. This, after Gaussian blurring and I'm adding chromatic aberration to your drawing, is chef's kiss. Then I go on the same layer with the effect noise. This adds this rainy texture to your drawing, which makes it look like, those old movies? It's really nice. Now we're done working or editing the drawing itself. And I mean, look at the difference from before and after. It's Incredible, I love it. Finally, we are now moving on to the pro feeling part. What we're gonna do is we're gonna be friends with the different blending modes. It takes some time to get familiar with them, but I will show you the ones that I use in every single drawing. First one is overlay. You may ask, what does overlay do? It's pretty easy. It just overlays the color of your choice onto the drawing. With this, you can add the warmth to the face or the coldness to the outside and bring all of the attention to the focal point of your drawing. Again here, the face. But remember to add those blending modes to a different layer, so not on the same layer as your drawing. Here I adjusted opacity of the overlay layer because it was a little too saturated for my style. Then after you're satisfied with the result, you can just merge the overlay layer with the original drawing. Now add another layer, choose a ink type of brush, and then choose a warm and light color to add dots to your entire drawing. You know those dust particles or fire particles? Yep, those elevate your drawing as well. But we're not done yet. After you have drawn the dust particles or fire particles in my case, duplicate the layers and then adjust the blending mode. Here we go again. And move it to the blending mode, add. This lightens up the colors. In my case, the fire particles really look like fire particles. You can also use this mode for lights. For example, if you have a strong light source like here, you can fill out that space, put that color to blending mode, add, and then see the magic happening. This process is pretty intuitive, so you can go around, blur a little bit, smudge a little bit, erase a little bit, and then move on. So the next thing you want to do is add another layer, then choose a dark blue color. After that, you're going to fill in the entire canvas with that color, set it to the blending mode, multiply. This adds a very dark layer or like shadow layer on top of your drawing. Next thing you want to do is select the strong light source or the spots where the light is hitting and just select that and erase the multiply color off of that part. In case you don't have a strong light source, in that case like little shadow areas, you can also just, instead of color dropping the entire color onto the canvas, you can simply draw in the shadows to make them darker. Adding this multiply layer really makes your light source pop. Now, after erasing the parts that are hit with light, there are still hard edges. What I do in that case, I just smudge out the edges so it doesn't look too harsh. The next step may be a little complicated, so please replay it if you get confused. You want to select the multiply layer, but the parts that you just erased. Then you're gonna add another layer, choose a light color like before in the beginning, and fill out that entire space with that light color. Then you want to set that light color layer to the blending mode, add. Remember, that makes your light source really light up, similar to the dust particles. Now, if you still have hard edges, you can just go in with the smudging tool and smudge out the light area a little bit to make the light shine evenly. If you still aren't happy with the light, you can just go in with the airbrush tool and airbrush some more light on the same additive layer as before. After that, you can group every layer that you just adjusted and compare it to your original drawing and see how different and how amazing and how crispy the drawing all of a sudden looks with these easy steps. Like, come on. Yeah, that's already the video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope this helped you. Subscribe and like for more.